My dear students, today I am going to discuss rules to ask questions starting with how, second part, under Learn English through Tamil Foundation course. I am Dr. Gunasegaran taking class for you. Vetri welcomes you. So, in continuation of previous class, how I am using the remaining type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5 auxiliary verbs using how. So here I am first starting with do verb. Please remember do verb always come for the noun, plural noun as well as pronoun, plural. If it is singular, it will come as does. Okay, this point you must have. So now let me discuss now. The first thing is, how do I start a successful business? How do I start a successful business? நான் ஒரு வெற்றிகரமான பிசினஸ் தொழிலை எப்படி ஆரம்பிப்பது? How do I start? So start is the main verb, do auxiliary, acting as a auxiliary verb. How do I improve my coding skills? Improve main verbs, do auxiliary. How do I stay motivated every day? How do I stay motivated? So motivated is the main verb, do, it is auxiliary. How do I stay motivated is the main verb. Now, how do I improve my mental health? Improve main verb, do auxiliary verb. How do certain animals hibernate? How do certain animals hibernate? Hibernate is the actually main verb, do, it is the auxiliary verb. Next one. How do we experience different time zones? Experience main verb, do auxiliary verb. How do magnets attract or repel each other? Attract or repel, it is the main verb, do auxiliary verb. How do we need to eat a balanced diet? Need main verb, do auxiliary verb. How do objects float or sink in water? Float or sink main verb, do auxiliary. How do I save money efficiently? Save main verb, do auxiliary. So in this case, do is acting as a main, that is the main as well as the auxiliary verb. Now let me take now for a does. I told you this is for noun singular and pronoun singular we are using. Kindly follow. How does the internet work? How does the internet work? Work main verb, does auxiliary. How does a car engine function? Function main verb, does auxiliary. How does electricity travel through wires? Travel main verb, does auxiliary. How does the human brain process information? Process main verb, does auxiliary. The next one, how does a computer execute code? execute main verb, and does auxiliary verb. So 5 more sentences under does. How does photosynthesis occur in plants? Occur main verb, does auxiliary. How does a blockchain ensure security? Ensure main verb, does auxiliary. How does exercise improve mental health? Improve main verb, does auxiliary. How does mixing red and blue paint make purple? Make main verb, does auxiliary. How does the heart beat faster during exercise? Beat main verb, does auxiliary. The next auxiliary verb, I am going to use the past tense, did. So did is a past tense for both do or does. We are using did as a past tense. So here I will raise question using did. How did the Industrial Revolution begin in England? How did the Industrial Revolution begin in England? Begin, main verb, did auxiliary. Next one. How did the ancient Egyptians build pyramids? Build. Actually, it is the main verb, did auxiliary. How did the United States enter World War II? Enter, main verb, did auxiliary. How did the dinosaurs become extinct? Become, main verb, did auxiliary. How did Shakespeare write Romeo and Juliet? Write, main verb, did auxiliary. 5 more sentences under did. How did the Roman Empire fall? Fall, main verb, did auxiliary. How did you handle your first customer? Handle, main verb, did auxiliary. How did the Mayan civilization decline? Decline, main verb, did auxiliary. How did explorers like Columbus search for new route to Asia? Search, main verb, did auxiliary. The next one. How did the civil rights movement start in the United States? Start, main verb, then did auxiliary verb. Next, I will use has as a auxiliary verb to raise question with you, with the how. How has the population of humans increased? எப்படி மக்களுடைய ஜனத்தொகை உயர்ந்தது, உயர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது? Increased, main verb, as auxiliary. How has the technology become integral to our daily life? Become, main verb, has auxiliary. How has the English language adopted words from other languages? Adopted, main verb, has auxiliary. The next one. How has plastic pollution in the ocean become environmental issue? Become, main verb, has auxiliary verb. How has the global warming been raising? Been raising, main verb, has auxiliary. Continuation of has. How has the study of history become important in understanding current events? become main verb has auxiliary. How has social media become a major platform for communication and marketing? Become main verb has auxiliary verb. How has the use of renewable energy sources become more widespread recently? Become main verb has auxiliary. The next sentence. How has the moon become a focal point now? Become main verb has auxiliary. How has the accidents occurred frequently? Occurred main verb has auxiliary. So next I will use have. Have auxiliary verb normally comes under the has, applicable only for plural. Noun plural and pronoun also plural we can use. So you should be careful while you are using. Now, how have scientists interested to so keen on Mars? So keen on Mars. That is, in this case, interested is the main verb, have, auxiliary. How have certain animals developed unique adaptation? Developed main verb, have, auxiliary. The next, how have renewable energy sources become more popular in recent years? Become main verb, have, auxiliary verb. How have ancient civilizations chosen river valleys to settle in? Chosen main verb, have, auxiliary. How have books been banned in some countries throughout history? So, have been banned. It is main verb, have, auxiliary. Next, continuation. How have we saved water for our future? Saved, main verb, have, auxiliary. How have mathematicians be fascinated? Fascinated, main verb, have, auxiliary. How have athletes broken previous record? Broken, main verb, and have, auxiliary. How have people around the world developed different culture? Developed, main verb, have, auxiliary verb. And lastly, how have people always sought knowledge? Sought, main verb, have, auxiliary verb. Please follow. Now, let me go for the past tense of has and have, that is had, I will use here. Kindly follow me. How had the chemist believed atoms divisible? Believed, main verb, had, auxiliary. How had the dinosaurs become extinct? Become, main verb, had, auxiliary. How had the ancient explorers decided to sail across unknown ocean? Decided, main verb, had, auxiliary. And how had the inventors of the telephone believed it a change in communication? Believed, main verb, had, auxiliary. How had the Egyptians constructed the pyramids? Constructed, main verb, had, auxiliary. So 5 more sentences under had. How had the inventors of the printing press thought it would be revolutionary? Had, auxiliary verb, thought, main verb. And also, it is also containing another sentence containing it would be also the another main verb. It is a compound sentence. Okay. Now, how had the settlers of New World decided to leave their home countries? Decided main verb, had auxiliary. How had our king constructed pool and well? Constructed main verb, had auxiliary. How had the use of solar become essential? Become main verb, had auxiliary. How had the use of aeroplane become essential? Become main verb, had auxiliary. The next, I'll go for the next auxiliary group, will, shall, that one. So here I will use will or shall, here I will use will. Kindly follow me. How will technology continue to advantage? Please, students, remember this is called secondary auxiliary or modal verb. They will not act as a main verb at all. Will not act as a main verb. Shall, will, shall, may, can will not act as a main verb. Always main verb will be separate. This is the most important point you must. So how will technology continue? Continue main verb, will auxiliary. How will learning be essential for growth? How will learning be? Be main verb. Be means am, is, or, where. All these will be indicated by be verbs. Will auxiliary. How will business need to adapt, survive? Need main verb, will auxiliary. How will exercise need to improve health? Need main verb, will auxiliary verb acting as a helping verb. How will climate change impact future? How will climate change impact future? Change main verb, will the corresponding the auxiliary verb. Continuation of further 5 more sentences. How will education evolve in the next decade? Evolve main verb, will auxiliary verb. How will metals transform industries? Transform main verb, will auxiliary. How will remote work remain popular? Remote work remain popular. How will remote work remain popular? Remain main verb, will auxiliary. How will health and wellness become more important? Become main verb, will auxiliary. The next one, how will consumer behavior shift in the coming year? Shift main verb, will auxiliary. So all these sentence questions, normally we will raise questions for the future. What is going to happen? How will? Future questions. So always in this, when we are using future question, will, the verb should be always in a V1 verb will come. That is present tense will come. This is the most important. The next I can use the corresponding next one, would. The fifth type, how would a company go for public? Go main verb, would auxiliary verb. How would a person relocate to another city? How would a person relocate? Main verb, the automatically the would will be the auxiliary. Kindly follow. How would customers prefer online shopping? Prefer main verb would, the auxiliary verb. How would investors focus on companies? Focus, main verb would, auxiliary. The last one, how would schools implement e-learning tools through internet? E-learning tools. Implement, main verb would, auxiliary verb. Here, my dear students, I want to give the difference between will and would, shall and should. So actually, many students or many teachers are thinking that the would is the past tense of will, should is the past tense of shall. No, it is wrong, because all are future tense. So in future there is no past. So how we have to imagine that? What is the difference between will and would? How can you understand that? So everything, this is any action is going to take place in future. That is future. So that future will be very near. Within a few seconds, use would. If the future is in a long duration, use will. For example, I will eat within few minutes. In that case, I would eat. I can use. I will travel Europe next year. So in that case, I will travel. I can use. There, I should not use I would. So would is the nearest future, where will is the far future. That is the main difference. Please follow. Okay, next I will go for again would. How would a developer use open source software? Use, main verb would, auxiliary. How would someone learn a new language? Learn, main verb would, auxiliary. How would a government invest in public transport? Invest, main verb would, auxiliary. How would a person start business? Start, main verb would, auxiliary. How would an employee ask for raise of salary? Ask, main verb would, the auxiliary verb. So now I can use the fifth type. Can I can use. Can I can use. How can birds fly but humans cannot? Fly, main verb, can, auxiliary. எப்படி பறவைகள் பறக்கின்றன, ஆனால் மனிதர்கள் பறக்க முடியவில்லை. என்னுடைய தமிழாக்கம். How can certain food cause allergies? Cause, main verbs, can, auxiliary. How can plants grow in different climates? Grow, main verb, can, auxiliary. How can technology improve so rapidly? Improve, main verb, can, auxiliary verb. How can music evoke strong emotion? Evoke, main verb, can, auxiliary. 5 more sentences. How can some animal change color? Change, main verb, can, auxiliary. How can meditation reduce stress? Reduce, main verb, can, auxiliary. How can we see different colors? See, main verb, can, the auxiliary verb. How can exercise improve mental health? Improve, main verb, can, auxiliary. The same way, how can habits be hard to break? Be, main verb, can, auxiliary. Then I will use could as the auxiliary verb to raise questions. How could poor people disobey the instruction? Disobey, main verb, good, auxiliary. How good the market demand suddenly change. Demand main verb, good auxiliary. How could a communication break down in a team? Break main verb, good auxiliary. The next one. How could a customer prefer its own product? Prefer main verb, good auxiliary. How could a company face legal issue? Face main verb, good auxiliary. 5 more sentences under the could. How could a strong partnership dissolve? Dissolve main verb, good auxiliary. How good user feedback be negative? Be negative. Be main verb, good auxiliary. How good a stable system crash suddenly? Crash suddenly. Crash main verb, good auxiliary. How could an innovation create history? Create main verb, good auxiliary. How could the implementation take longer time than estimated? Take main verb, good auxiliary verb. So, I have discussed all the 5 types of auxiliary verb using how. So, I hope now you have very clear idea how to ask questions using WH. This is the very, very important part. The next part, we are going again questions that is not WH questions, it is called yes or no question. Again, using auxiliary verb, we are going to raise questions and then automatically answer will be either yes or no. That we'll see in the next class. Bye bye, Dr. Gunasekharan.